You know how I do.
However, Song of the Siren disjointed the fight and came back in favor of Fnatic.
And we're back. Game number 2 of our second best of 3. It's the tail end of a Na'Vi US doubleheader here on this weekend edition of the D2L Season 5, brought to you by HyperX. And yeah, Na'Vi took a tough loss in our first series, and they're well on their way to a second one if they don't get things together in a hurry. We can see they're taking a page out of EG's playbook, grabbing the Zeus for themselves in the first 2 this time. We actually saw Merlini, who is standing in today for Na'Vi US, play the Zeus earlier, had some success, but couldn't get the job done. On his own. He needed the rest of his team. He died a lot early, but still, you know, he played well. It's just right now, this Na'Vi US team, Trouf, they really and truly just they're one of these squads that you can tell has talent. That, you know, MSS playing today has had some ups and downs, but they with the core 3 we see, Korok, Ush, and Fogged, that's a wonderful nucleus to build a team around. But it's a matter of finding the right pieces to put into the right place and just finding that identity, finding that personal style, that confidence that so often accompanies teams on their way to the top. EG, they know all about that. They found it a while ago, and they're still one of the best in the West, in many eyes, the best in the West, and they put it on Na'Vi US in Game 1. Wasn't even close. Arteezy just went berserk. 22 minutes he had a Manta, a Scotty, and Treads on his Terrorblade, I think. That sounds about right.
Yeah, I think so. I think also just the problem that Na'Vi US has had amidst all the roster changes is just like role reversals. And I don't think that they really have set in stone what they want to do or feel comfortable in the roles that they're in. Like Korok has been playing offlane now for some time. He was mid for the longest time, I think, for Na'Vi US. But I don't think he's that comfortable, to be honest. At least when some of the heroes in some of the games we've seen. Like the first game, or I should say the game is against the VP Polar. He had some, you know, questionable positional errors with the Tidehunter specifically. And then this last game is, it already actually fails me what hero he was playing. What was he playing last game?
Who? Which one?
Korok.
Korok was on the Void.
The Void. Okay. The Void wasn't, yeah, the Void was fine actually. But obviously, his last game, it wasn't the offlane that was the problem. It was the safe lane that was the problem, unfortunately.
Yep.
And yeah, we'll have to see. Troll Warlord picked up. Interesting, because they don't really have a pairing with the ultimate just yet. So I feel like that's always an interesting thing when you don't have someone that pairs up with his ultimate. Although, if you are LV gaming, it doesn't matter. You can still go ham on that hero if you're mid anyway. But it's not going to be a mid troll. It's probably going to be... I mean, I guess it could be support Zeus, but that's a weird support combo, Wisp and Zeus.
Yeah, I would imagine this is going to have to be a one-position troll. It's the only way it makes any sense. Like, how else do you do it? I mean, I guess you could go... You're not going to go aggressive with an IO troll, though. So, I mean, Tide off lane is what makes the most sense here. I don't know. We'll see. Something just came to mind. It's not going to happen, but it's something I've screwed around with just to see what the timings are. And Troll's actually a hero. You know how you can cut the trees down and farm Ancients from level 1 on the Radiant side?
Yeah.
He's actually one of the best at that now. because of the change to his fervor, I think it is. But anyway, that's a topic for another time. I live to see a professional team do that again. I remember, who was it? Was it Na'Vi? I want to say it was Na'Vi or yeah. I was thinking it was not. It was Funnick used to do that. He would run the off-lane Windrunner, and if it wasn't going well, just hell with it. I'll just go cut down trees with the power shot and farm ancients for a while and just hope they don't figure it out. But obviously, lots of problems with that. EG going with a very TI4-ish kind of a draft, grabbing the Razor, Venge, Witch Doctor, Enigma, and Viper. I don't think we need to break that down too much until we get in the laning phase because it's pretty obvious these are just heroes that push really well, they fight really well. 2 possible mech carriers in the Razor and the Viper, and very mid-game snowbally oriented. The Undying pick for Na'Vi US is fun for me, just because Undying is one of those heroes that had his time in the sun, and it is going to be MSS on him, so it will be support. And yeah, Ush is actually on the Tide. And what are they going to do with this troll? Now I'm curious.
I think they're definitely going to do a tri-lane aggro with with Wisp Troll Undying, Tidehunter solo bottom against Enigma, and then Zeus mid against probably Arteezy. And then just have Viper tri-lane top. It's hard. Like, Undying is amazing in tri-lanes. Like, really, really good. And there's potential for them to actually run an EG just because they get the extra movement speed from Wisp. They don't have any stuns, though. That's the problem. And I could see it going very well, but I could also see it going miserably. So I think this game will be decided actually relatively quickly. We'll see.
Yeah, it's actually up in a universe on the Enigma, by the way.
Yeah.
Not Zai. So this is... Yeah, I want to see how this is going to function. Like you said, I was going to talk about the Undying briefly. He's a hero that had his time in the sun, and we saw him run off lane. I actually remember way back in the day watching some truly dominant off lane performances from a solo off lane Undying. If you know how to play it and you play it well, especially if there just aren't any answers in the tri lane that you're up against that can really stun knock you or anything like that. But he's really fallen off since then, and a very situational pick, one of the least picked heroes in the meta right now. Why do you think that is, and what do you think he needs to really rise back to being a somewhat more common hero to be seen?
I think the reason why he's probably not picked so much is that I feel like you really do have to go aggro tri-lane with him. I don't think there's any other way. I think putting him in a safe lane against an off lane hero is just kind of a waste of picking the hero. Like, he can zone out okay, I suppose, with this decay spell, but doesn't really benefit from passive play overall. So you want to be very aggressive with him. You want to aggro tri-lane with him. So it's just a matter of fact that if you're not going to go aggro tri-lane, you're probably not going to pick this hero. And since we don't see aggro tri-lanes as much, as a result, we don't see Undying as much.
I'm dying to... I almost did it to type in spectator chat and ask Fear trash can or clown shoes. I remember one of the funniest casts I ever had in my life. It was a BTS moment when I just lost my mind. I was casting with Fear, and it was like a weekend of TI qualifiers. I was exhausted. We were all exhausted. Half of us hungover, and a play from a Tidehunter player. To this day, I can't remember who it was. Made one of the clowniest plays I've ever made in my life, and it was right after a conversation about Viper, in which Fear, and if you know Fear well, he hates Viper. He thinks he's the most, to quote, he is a trash can hero. He thinks it's a bad hero, and somehow the conversation started using the phrase clown shoes as well. So I remember asking him if he thought it was trash can or clown shoes on the air, and I'm dying to do it now. But I won't, because professionalism reigns supreme here at the D2L, where if you tuned into our cast the other day, you got to hear us talk about Star Trek for about 10 minutes. And that was a fun game. But anyway, got to pause, and I'm hoping it's a easily resolved issue. The East server has been having issues. I'm already seeing a lot of posts and threads about it, and yeah, it looks like it was a personal issue, so would much rather have that than I would another 10, 20 minutes of downtime because it's 90% packet loss.
Yeah, no, Arteezy was having some issues with his crappy Canadian internet, and I feel him with that. But he's up top. This is going to be a dual lane against this very aggressive tri-lane from Na'Vi US. And if I'm Na'Vi US, I want to fight, and I want to fight early. And they're actually looking towards maybe to being aggressive here. The pull already happened. They're actually going to bring this back, which is not good because Arteezy is going to get free CS. Oh, yeah. So they're already not starting off to the greatest start. That's great. It's done it. Up here in the top lane because Arteezy is going to get level 2 pretty soon. PPD is going to level 2 pretty soon. And if they get an early TP up on the Zai, who is soloing in the off lane against Tide, so EG knew exactly what Navi US was doing. If they can early TP up on him, they can probably prevent some kind of dives happening if they overextend too much top.
Up at top, we can see they're getting a little close for comfort. And Korok having all of his damage sapped. Ortiz is just going to right-click it for a bit. Decay does some damage, but yeah, a couple of heavy right-clicks coming out of him in response. And yeah, he actually chased pretty deep there. But for now, taking a look at mid, Merlini 7 CS to Viper's 11. It is a very tough matchup for Zeus. He has to play so cautiously. And as you said, that's not really out of the pale for Zeus as a hero. Usually his goal in lane spam waves, get CS, get runes, and stay safe. But as Fear levels up and gets more points into however he wants to approach it, we'll see if he's going to continue to max the corrosive skin. But as he levels up, the kill potential gets huge, especially with any kind of a rotation from either Xayah or PPD.
Yeah, so, he's missing some CS with the Chain Lightning. Chain Lightning is pretty good in the sense that you can get every single last hit, but misses a few there. So he's actually down 5 CS from the Viper, and Viper's gonna get more because the wave's coming his way. So Fear 17 compared to 10 on Zeus. A little bit of a better time here for the Viper. And bottom lane, Fox has actually made his way bottom. They don't want to give this Witch Doctor free levels and free farm against the solo Tidehunter. Which means this...
Anyway.
Yeah.
Like he's playing right in front of them. He's just not scared.
Yeah, Universe is down here too to lend his helping hand and lend some support. Has not put a point into Midnight Pulse. I think that's fine because Malefice... They're going to go for kill, maybe? Maybe just harassment onto Ush.
Got it. It's going to be close. Nope, not quite going to get him.
Yeah, he had a sick charge. Or
yep.
6 stick charge as well, so...
Yep. You and I both are a mess today, you know that?
I know.
Neither of us can... Dude, it's been like, what, 15 days? No days off?
Something like that, yeah.
And many of those days, 3 minimum best of 3s. I'm gonna cut us a break for ourselves. And Fogged has to disappear into the woods, and there's that heal, man. You know, Witch Doctor, I've always liked Witch Doctor as a hero, but I don't know. It's when it comes to just how important the lane phase is in this, they're gonna get him. Yep, got him. Well played. Ush recognizing an opportunity in Universe. Trying to get a couple of extra right clicks. He's going to get body blocked here. He could end up dead very easily. Ush has a... Yeah. That's fantastic. That's just well played from Ush. And Fogged in the back, staying at good range, using his spirits. That's a total misplay from EG. They're just way too aggressive for no reason whatsoever. And Navi US quick to punish it.
Misplay, but yeah, as you mentioned, also a very fantastic play from EG. Fogged recognizing when he could get a kill. Berlini coming down here, but... I don't know how much damage he can actually output, especially with the TP coming in from PPD, who's going to go onto Ush. This could be a kill onto Ush, and it is. So overstepping the boundaries. PPD did have a haste ring, to be fair. But I don't think the rotation from Merlini was really going to do anything anyway. And as a result, he's going to be drastically behind this Viper. Viper's sitting at now 31 and 13 compared to only the 17 CS of Zeus.
Yeah. And this is going to be, depending on what he wants to build, he's going to finish his Magic Wand first. But if he's sitting on Treads, Wraithband, and a Magic Wand done. If he wants to continue, if he just wants to hurry up and try to get the mech out, which I think he should, that will free some room up for Arteezy, who isn't having nearly as fun a time. The Troll's actually out-farming him slightly right now. Take some pressure off of him so far as the building of the mech goes, although I guess they could get Universe to do it, as he's now made his way into the jungle. They'll have their choice. But, yeah, I'm with you. Like, this is a lane they need to break down. They need to not let Fear just continue to CS this freely. As even though the Zeus is getting levels, he's not going to have his items up at anywhere near the same clip.
Comes a smoke out from EG. It's PPD and Universe trying to get a kill, and I bet you they can. Maybe for sure get 1, maybe get 2. CMSS.
There you go. They actually overlapped a little bit there. The Tombstone does go down. And Gold Tombstone, Best Tombstone, they're going to auto-attack it down. MSS is still hanging around. And that's going to go. But in the meantime, how about Arteezy getting doped by Korok, who does find that kill. And they don't manage to kill off MSS. So, do you think that was a misplay, miscommunication? Actually, they just want to go on Korok. That's what it is. Magic Missile's ready. PPD will use it after the 3rd tick. There it is. And a couple of auto-attacks more. Trying to salve through. He's buying time. And yeah, the Undying's now caught up. And this is really well played by Korok. MSS, there's the ulti from Merlini. So it ends up taking a long time. Here comes Arteezy looking to get something in return.
Oh my god, he's going to kill PPD. Oh, that was so close.
And still chasing MSS. Merlini's made his way over. Doesn't have a ton of mana, though. Ush is right there, though. And he's got Ravage. He's just going to use it to stay safe. And EG has completely flubbed this early game. Fear's going to end up getting MSS. There's going to be the Viper Strike on the Ush. Fear takes an Anchor Smash. Merlini's there bottling up some mana. Fear knows how tanky he is and is willing to just pursue it. And there's the Kraken. Ush is going to end up dead. And we actually see a kill at bottom as well, as Fogged ended up dying on the IO. Merlini's just going to try to run away. Korok has pursued Fear. He's in a really odd spot right now. Not a lot of ways back home. And yeah, he's just going to turn and re-engage. He's maxed his corrosive skin, and Korok's going to kill himself here. Nope, never mind. Down goes the tombstone, and we're just going to see Fear die for free. And Korok able to keep himself alive. What a clowny sequence of events.
Why did he ulti at the end there? Like, troll, give me attack speed. I gotta save myself.
I think I can definitely see that being just like a as a fun thing. Like, yeah, get out of here, rawr, you know.
I think he was probably just thinking, I don't know, like, I'm gonna die. Maybe I can give someone some extra attack speed if I need to. I don't know. That was just really funny. I don't know why PPD saved his stun so long up top. He saved his stun long enough to give the Korok another chance to get the Whirling Death or the Whirling Axes, which made them all miss. And then it wasted so much time. He was trying to get the full value out of the stun, but that was way too long. And it was a big misplay there by multiple people on EG. And I don't know. And also Merlini shouldn't have TP'd out because the Whirling Death would have made the attacks from Viper miss as well. And I think they could have just manned up there, but they still got the kill, so it didn't really matter that much.
That is so annoying if you're them. And Zai actually gets a kill on the Ush over at bottom. But this ward is still standing because, I don't know if you saw it, it's one of those small things that's just maddening. Merlini and Fog threw 5 attacks uphill at this ward and missed 4 of them. Now they're going to get it. Merlini, though, caught with a Viper Strike. He has a TP right out. He can't stand. So Fear just continuing to bully him around. Fear is literally doubling his CS right now.
Yeah, yeah, literally. That's not bad. Not bad at all for him. How's Fog doing on levels? He's level 5. Okay. Had that nice double kill in the beginning. Ulti from Troll for the top. Ush is in trouble, though. He has Ravage in 9 seconds, but there is a black hole. If he can get range, last cast is going to hit, but he Krakens. Very timely Kraken there for him.
And tier 1 bottom still going to be pushed. Ush. Yeah, knew he had to run. Fogged is there to try to help using the Spirit. And he's going to Ravage. He got Zai. Now here comes Fogged trying to make something happen. They are going to end up getting one, but the black hole's there to follow. And Fogged is level 6, but yeah, there's a relocate.
Nice.
Yep. I didn't think he was. It took a second for it to charge up, but in the meantime, they get a kill on Viper.
That was a solo undying.
Yeah, it looks like he died. If we click on his portrait, we can see he died right here. So he must have just been diving so hard and got punished with the tombstone.
Oh, boy. EG's getting a little careless this game. That's good levels for Undying, too. That's a hero that can't fall behind, or else he just feels useless in the mid to late game. So that's going to make him relevant a lot earlier. He's got now level 8, so 4 points in Tombstone, 2 in Soul Rip, 1 in Decay. He's debating what he wants to level up, whether he wants to put his ulti in there or not. I think ulti is a pretty damn good value point if you ask me, but we'll see what he wants to do.
The thing about Undying's ulti, and it's deceptive, because there's no big particle effect, there's no... I mean, yes, he changes forms, but the way... what his ulti actually does isn't very well translated graphically. And very often, you'll see fights that are won, and it doesn't look like he did anything. It looks like he walked around, maybe soul ripped somebody who was close to dying, maybe heals some, does some healing, does some decay spam, and drops his tombstone. But even the tombstone is relatively quiet. The zombies get on, and in the chaos of a fight, it's hard to tell where the damage sources are coming from. But like you said, if he can stay on point with his levels, they get to a level 11 fairly quick, and once again, they catch Fear, and they got a bash. Oh, Fear got bashed just before he crested high ground. That makes it 9-7 now, favoring Na'Vi US, and EG finds themselves on the back foot. That's going to draw us back to exactly even and into the favor of Na'Vi US if and when they manage to take another tower or another kill. Tyna has Ravage at 35. Arteezy shows up. PPD right there gets gushed. And Ush pursuing him behind the tower. There's a magic missile. EG has Universe just to the high side. And there's the ulti from Korok. They're going to take this tower, at least force the glyph out. And Universe spotted by Merlini, who's got an invis. And down goes the tower. And he actually denied it with an Eidolon. Sick. And here comes the relocate. Universe dead in his own jungle. Korok's taking a fair amount of damage here, though. And there's the ulti from the Zeus just to make sure things are secured. Korok being pursued out. There's going to be a soul rip. There's the ulti. Fogged in trouble. And there's another relocate. So Fogged will come back to his own death. But Zai continued to try to channel it. Got Ravaged now. Solo Ravaged. Didn't get anyone else on the low ground. But that's another death. A 3-for-2 exchange. And never mind, they actually did get the troll and the IO. I thought they had relocated out safely. Instead, it is a 3-for-2.
Yeah.
And everyone else will make it back home safely.
I think the Death Ward attacks actually followed the relocate, unfortunately. I thought he was going to be fine, but 1 second left on the relocate for the Troll Warlord as well. So close, but the Magic Missile helped secure more damage onto him. So yeah, nice fight. It's still in favor of Navi US. And the big problem here this time, though, is that Arteezy has a crap farm. Just think, last game he had, at about this time, he was just about to get his treads and his manta. Just to put it in perspective. Right now he has brown boots. He's almost on par with Ush's Razor last game.
Yep. Been a tough game for him, but he is on par with Merlini's Zeus as well. Kill-wise, obviously not the truth. He's died 3 times, and that's kind of crushing. 1 death from Merlini, but he's killed twice, so he's in pretty decent shape. And yeah, EG's reeling. They have to be. Mech's going to be built on Universe, and he's going to be spotted by MSS. MSS is getting job done with this golden tombstone. And zombies on him, and he's going to end up dead again. Merlini right in range for it. MSS secures the kill. And EG's going to take a fight somewhere. Looks like they want to kill Korok, but nope, not the case.
And was that a relocate out or something? Did he just use
I don't know. I'm confused. I was like trying to process it before I spoke. I don't know.
I wasn't looking. I was looking at the kill up top, but
yeah, it was a relocate.
I will say, yeah, I think it was a relocate backwards because
that's what it was.
Yeah, there's no tick up on it right now, but yeah, I was gonna say if you look at the net worth, Razor's actually 3rd from the bottom.
That's awful.
Look at that. You see that? He's right in the middle between the Undying and the Wisp. Oh boy.
The TPN. Wow, Black Hole going to be spent just on Ush. Just to get a kill. They're that hungry for kills. PPD gets himself on a killing spree, finishing it off with the Magic Missile. 13-10. EG not letting it get too far out of hand. It is a 2,000 gold lead, which is the highest of the game for any team for Navi US right now. And this lineup demands that they play this way. I mean, you're not going to try to take a troll late without some other natural hard carry to synergize it with. On the side of EG, I mean, they're not a whole lot better, but I still vastly prefer a Viper and a Razor against the Troll and nobody, basically. Like, you would be banking on Troll plus magic damage from the Zeus, and I don't know if that's going to be good enough on a team that has 4 natural BKB heroes.
Yeah, I don't think Peter should have got that kill, though, bottom, because he used that Magic Missile, and now he has 1 spell. Which might not seem like a big deal, but if they were trying to find someone and he needed to swap and his stun, you wouldn't be able to have it. So he might actually have to walk. Yeah, he'd have to walk all the way back to base to actually heal up. So it's all these little things, and that's going to create a lot more time and space for the heroes of Navi US. And Merlini going for his drums again, and he's not maxing the Arc Lightning. I mean, he's a great Zeus player. He's using a Vision ult. I don't think they were using this at all for a kill or anything like that. Just want to see where the heroes are and give some proper vision. But he's got some extra movement speed for the drums. It's good stats. It's one flavor of the build. I like just the rushing of the blink. I think it makes it mobile. The blink doesn't cost any more mana now, so you don't have to waste as much for that. But to each their own, and I still think this is still fine.
See, I'm with you. And so far as stats and survivability, it depends on what you want to prioritize. Hang on, Universe. Along with Fear engaging Ush. Ush is going to ravage the both of them. There's an Anchor Smash and a relocate. Universe has to try to get out. Fear going to work on Ush. Can't kill him by himself. Ush is going to be able to make it away. They do get Universe behind that. Zai, though, did drop the Death Ward, and Merlini going to be spotted out by PPD, who does secure the kill. He is going to die to these zombies, though. So ends up being a 3-for-2. And EG barely able to eke out a little bit of a win there. And Navi US is just taking it to him this game, not letting off on the pressure. But anyway, what I was going to say about the Zeus, I prefer the rush blink as well, because you're going to want to blink regardless. And if you're worried about stat gain, then go ahead and just buy like a point booster. Like even if you want to delay that long, get yourself a point booster, then a blink, then finish your scepter, and then go for a refresher after. Like that makes a lot more sense to me than just drums.
Yeah, I just also like Aghanim Rush because it's one of the better Ags upgrades in the game. You don't think it is, but if you actually look at the numbers, it's very, very good. Us is just like standing there wanting to get attacked, but I think the reason why he goes this movement speed build, and he gets the boots of travel as well, which I am a big fan of boots of travel in any hero, but it makes him very fast, and I think it's good because in team fights, you never really want to commit. Arteezy might die here, and I think he's going to, unless he TP's out right now. Yep. Nice decision. It's going to be close, but the ult comes out from Zeus. Nicely done. Extra experience there from Merlini as well. But to build on this point, I think it's because with the drums and the extra movement speed with the bots, he's sitting at like 412 movement speed. And you need to be fast in team fights because you're never fully engaging. You're like poking in, you get a chain lightning, you get a lightning bolt when you can safely, you walk away, you run back in, it's just like you slowly spam. You never actually want to fully commit. But that's why I also like the blink, because then when you do want to fully commit, you blink in, fully commit, and run away, or you run in, you fully commit, and then you blink out. But this is still fine.
Swap on MSS, got the tombstone down, but he's going to end up dead very quickly. And not nearly quickly enough, but they do manage to secure the kill and bring the tombstone down for an easy 150 gold for Universe. Honestly, man, I like Blink on just about any hero that wants to stay out of fights, that doesn't want anyone on him. Like Blink Drow, Blink. I like Blink Clinks a lot. I like Blink Sniper. Honestly, I feel like Blink's actually core. At this level anyway. I mean, if you're playing pubs, it's one thing. But like at the professional level, I am a big believer that the Blink is basically core on Sniper. Because against coordinated teams, you're not going to just be able to stay safe in all the fights. You need some way to position yourself and make sure you're in the right place at the right time when the engagement begins. Trying to sneak a Roshan here in Na'Vi US. Gets spotted out. Up atop, there's going to be a Ravage. Got Zion Universe. Universe has Black Hole, does not have the mana, doesn't even have a Soul Ring usage. And Na'Vi US is proving to be very tough to take down in most circumstances. Tell you someone who's kind of unsung here is Fogged. Fogged has saved a lot of lives, has ended a lot of lives with Relocate. And he's been doing it not frantic, he's just in the, again, right place, right time, which is all about preparation and reading the map.
Well, he's jump-started the game with a good plays bottom with Ush. Like, jumping back in, even though he was like very low HP with a tether to give him some extra movement speed, hitting him with the balls. And yeah, there's the boots of travel for Zeus. Despite him not getting a blink and going for this, yeah, see, like with only just boots of travel and drums, he's at 414. When he pops the drums, it's going to be like 450 or 460. So, like I said, for the reasons, that's probably why he's going. But still would like to see the blink eventually, but this is still fine. I love boots of travel, like I've said on every hero. I think it's extremely good. And now EG wants to steal this Aegis. And it looks like they're going to, unless... Yeah, actually, Ush's... His Ravage is down. I think this is going to be a good fight for EG.
I totally agree. I don't think they can fight it, and they're not going to. Viper takes the Aegis up atop. Ush just banging away on the tower, doing what he can. Ush actually has a Sange, so we'll see if he wants to go Halberd. I can't imagine he wants S and Y. And that's an interesting pickup. Going Sange to... at this point, he says, I've got my Blink. The magic damage on EG is not particularly scary, so why rush a pipe? Mechanism is being built by the Undying, so yeah, why not? That's a smart pickup.
Yeah, it's good. I still think Refresher's the build, but yeah, it's still not bad. It kind of sucks that Na'Vi US went in there to get that Roshan and was sniffed out, because I wonder if Korok just didn't ulti right there if they wouldn't have known. Arteezy was in the premises, and he might have checked anyway, but the ulti from Troll definitely made him check. And, like, it's okay to use your ulti for Troll to do Roshan if, like, even if they came at that point, they couldn't stop you, but it was going relatively slowly. I mean, it was a Zeus helping you out, for God's sake. For Zeus's sake.
For Merlini's sake. 1,500 gold's the lead for Na'Vi US, 1,000 experience, give or take. They are beginning to group bottom as 5. Vlad's is done on the Troll, as well as a Maelstrom, so nice mid-game items. I do feel like right now they need to be peaking, though. Like, this is... Like, right now, they need to be taking pretty big wins against EG. Trading even's not going to be good enough anymore. As EG, again, I feel like their team is more confident going late. This Tier 1's not going to be directly contested, and we'll see if they want to try to move out now. Ush is in a great position looking for a Ravage off to the right side in the woods. And we can see some dewarding from Na'Vi US. They're not going to abandon this. And they shouldn't. Actually, check that. They are. That's kind of surprising to me.
Well, as we approach the mid to late game, the one thing that's going to be annoying for Navi US is that Troll Warlord is going to get kited whether he gets a BKB or not. Because the Viper really loves heroes like that.
Yeah.
That really rely on their positioning and movement speed, and can't really blink into a fight. So he has two options. One, he gets a Lincoln Sphere for himself, which is actually not too bad this game. Or two, he just gets a blink. And I think it's going to be the blink, because I've seen him do this before. I've seen other Troll Warlords play against this similar lineup, where it's very annoying to, like, you know, get kited by the slows and whatnot. And blink is kind of a remedy to that problem, sort of.
Speaking of remedies to problems, Universe is working on his pipe, has up his Veil of Discord. There's going to be a cask. They caught Korok, and it's still bouncing. Wonderfully played by Zai. Small camp just had enough creeps to get the bounces they needed. And that's a killing spree for our Witch Doctor. He's 6-3-3. Taking a look at the board, that actually leads all heroes right now. 4-1 on PPD as well. So collectively, the 4 and 5 support positions for EG are 10-4, and they're really holding the game together. It was a good start for MSS, but now he's at 4-3-5. It's okay, it's positive, but it's not as good as it could have been. 3-2-7 for Merlini, and once again, he's having a pretty solid game, but his farm is pretty abysmal. The matchup against Viper in mid was just a nightmare.
Well, the rotation bottom was a big mistake by him, I think. Like, he didn't do anything with it, and he was already losing the lane, and then that just made it really, really a much bigger disparity than it already was. So he's sitting at about 4th from the bottom for net worth. And Razor has surpassed him, and Razor had an even worse start than him. So, and it's going to be a Sange and Yasha? What?
On the Tide?
Yeah.
LOL.
All right.
We'll come back to that. Fogged, engaged, fear, chased away. Let's talk this out. Talk me through this, man. Why the Sange and Yasha? I mean, Halberd I get. That I don't.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Like, he's still gonna get kited. Because movement speed that's all cool. He's got tread since 417 movement speed with the blink, I guess, but he's not there for right clicks and naming. He's there for his ulti. That's why you pick the Tide. Unless you were really dominating, but they're not really dominating. And he didn't get the blink actually. He didn't blink out before the attack from Fear. I wonder if he dies here. Yeah, there's a death word coming out. If it gets some proper bounces, and Ush is just gonna die. Why didn't he blink away?
That is so brutal. Bad luck on the cat. Oh, you kidding me, Peter? PPD swapping MSs in. He's dead. That was actually sick. And I'll explain why in a second. Looks like they're gonna go ahead and charge up. Are they actually gonna try to contest this? I don't think they can. But anyway, PPD threw the magic missile at max range downhill and was quick enough on the swap that the missile was still traveling whenever the swap occurred, so it reversed direction, doesn't disjoint the magic missile, and then turned around and stunned him on the high ground. So that it's hard enough to very quickly swap and stun. That time he did it in the opposite. He stunned and then swapped because it was max range. Just well played.
Yeah, I don't know what Tide was doing there, and then he didn't blink before the auto attack of Viper, and then he just do-si-doed, ran back and forth a ton, and then just died. So I don't know. The Sange and Yasha pickup was interesting too, and we didn't really talk about this too much, but the fact that Zai has the early ags that he does is insane, and he actually has a BKB and 150 gold, man. Who's going to stop him? Nobody. There's no canceling of this ultimate once he gets that BKB down. Unless you can... Okay, you can bash him, I guess, with Troll. That's the only thing. But that's at a 20% chance, I believe. Is that what it is? It
Something
is
like that.
10. Sorry, it's way lower, actually. 10% chance to bash. And you have to really commit and run into the team of EG to really even do that, so...
EG has played this back not just to even, but to their quite heavy benefit. Down at bottom, we're actually going to see Universe dead again. They have done an excellent job, and this is one of the more gank-centric IO lineups we've seen. I mean, very often now, it's not like the old days where you'd go IO tiny, drop a bunch of wards and then basically just plan on ganking the whole game. A lot of teams just run it as basically a buff, and if they can gank with it or initiate with it, they do, but it's not a priority. This time, it seems like Fogged has really been doing a great job watching the map, and he and Korok have been making kills happen very frequently everywhere. And that's kept them in it. I mean, it is Fog dead, gets hit by the cask, has nothing to tether to. But it is going to be a 4K lead now. for EG as they've just about doubled the high water mark for Na'Vi set about 10 minutes ago.
God, Zai is so farmed. He's level 16 now after that, too. His Death Ward is just going to absolutely own fights, and it's also a very good tool if you get relocated on. You can literally just throw the Death Ward down with the BKB, and they just die the second they come in. Or a couple seconds after, but you get my point. I still can't wrap my head around this Sage and Yasha pickup. I don't know how it's justified. Like, you pick it for movement speed and for the MAME effect. But this is just not a hero that really... I don't know. Like I said, you do this when you're like 20k up, not when you're borderline against one of the best teams in the West.
I mean, the only thing that comes to mind is they really are just worried about being kited that bad, as they should be, because I can't imagine the troll's going to get on them. So the plan is just like, all right, Tide, we're going to be relying on you. We need you on top of them. We need them anchor smash. We need you to gush one to slow, and we're going to need you to right-click whatever target we're after. That way, hopefully we can get a main. That's the only thing that makes any sense to me. It's the only reason why you would want it.
The thing is like, if that's the case, like, why not just get a BKB then? But then the question, the argument is like, why not just get double Ravage?
or how about Atos? Like, at least that's just going to tank you up even more, and it has a built-in slow that's quite good from the long range.
Sure, yeah, I could see that. But I just think, I don't know. I think deviating from the standard build on Tide is not something like, it's okay to try things out on certain heroes, but I think Tide is not one of them. I think just the 4-staff refresher is the best one.
MSS, and there's a Ravage. Pipe did go off, but there's the follow-up. Let's see if they can actually... Nope. Ush is dead from behind. There's a swap. And Korok brought back into the fight, not where he wants to be. And it appears the worm is turned, as Arteezy shows up and is having a bit more of an impact for the first time all game. MSS going to drop a ward. And, wow, okay. He turned her... Did he just feed himself on purpose?
No, he probably misclicked, but he was dead anyway.
It was odd. He literally, like, it looked like he was at least going to make it to about here and maybe have a chance to get around the corner, but he just went, oh no, they're still there. And tried to run and died. But that's 4-0. And a big win for EG, as they now, yeah, it looked like it was heading slightly back in favor of Na'Vi for a moment. That's going to tank down to probably 7,500 in favor of EG once this tier 2 top does end up dropping.
Yep, and Zai probably looking towards another item. I'm guessing something's on the courier. I bet one is. I saw Talisman of Evasion Course. I was like, is Zai getting a butterfly? Oh, that one is for Mr. Fear here. So we've got Manta Butterfly. None of this mech shenanigan business, because Universe got that. None of this Ags shenanigans. Just going for more of a typical agility carry here for the Viper. And I think it works against specifically the Troll. Because Troll is just... Like, Troll, Korok has been playing very well this game, but Troll has his innate limitations, man. This hero gets kited, and if you don't get those fast bashes just innately, like, or right away, you just become very, very useless.
Yeah, I mean, how are they going to kill Fear? He's got Pipe to mitigate the magic damage. He's got an Aegis now. He's got a Manta, and he's got Evasion. And if he actually finishes a BKB, they won't be able to touch him. Like, they will not be able to hurt him at all. Merlini's going for a Veil, which is really the only answer they have. They're just going to have to hope that they get 3- and 4-man Ravages, and then they follow up with a nice Veil that catches 3 or 4, and then the Thunder God's Wrath. Like, that's the only way that I really see them having a chance. I mean, and this is the problem with Undying. How good did MSS look earlier? You know, Tombstone going down, getting solo kill the Viper at one point. And now we're mid-game, 30 minutes in, and it's just like, oh, so the Tombstone still does damage, but not as much because everybody's tankier. Oh, your melee. Oh, your ulti is good so long as we're winning, but because we're not ahead in the mid-game, suddenly it's not as worthwhile. Like, it's a tough spot. It's a tough, and this is why, again, so many don't actually pick the Undying. They don't want to find themselves in a situation where because they won the early game. I mean, if you look... yeah, from like 7 minutes, say 8-9 minutes until about 25 minutes, they were winning, but they weren't winning enough. And then you have heroes like Troll, like the Zeus to a certain extent, and certainly like the Undying, that just fall off in situations like that. Yeah,
I agree with you a lot. Like, I just think Undying, you really have to snowball. I like the Crimson Guard pickup specifically against... Oh, here we have a relocate in a very far away position. Onto Universe.
Engaged at bottom. Yeah, that was odd. That had... Oh, big black hole. Universe sniffed it out. Got all three. Fog in some trouble, but Korok doing good damage. Peter's there to follow it up, though. Ulti from Merlini will secure at least a 1-for-1. They get 2-for-1, and Fear's actually going to end up dead to the bashes of Korok, so he does end up feeding his Aegis. And we saw right there, that's how they kill him, I suppose. Fear, though, back up off the Aegis respawn. Zai's right there with him. Death Ward, enough to secure that kill. Ends up being a 3-for-1. 3 for 1 plus Aegis, rather. But still, a lost fight and a 1,500 gold swing, as well as about, 1,300 gold in favor of EG.
And Fog died anyway to the... Oh, after he ported, I guess. It was really, really close for him, but... Yeah, really nice job there by Universe. I thought he was actually going to get hit by one of the balls from Fogged, because it was like a very outer rung, but still managed to blink in amidst it. DC coming out from MSS. Should be back soon, though, but yeah, really nice capitalization. If he gets the Midnight Pulse off, he already cast it, actually, but if he didn't, I think they easily don't die before any casualties come on the side of EG, but nonetheless, a very, very nice exchange for EG.
We're at 19-25 at 32 minutes in, and EG has retaken control of the game. Razor's caught up and is now surpassing Zeus in terms of farm. He's honestly right on top of the Witch Doctor, so I'm not sure if that's to his credit or to the Witch Doctor's credit. Zai has really been a beast this game. Still has 8-second duration on his BKB as well. Pipe has been done for a while on Universe's Enigma. And you think maybe they sit back and farm and try to get picks until the next Roshan, then go high ground? Or is it possible they look to go ahead and go high ground now?
Probably not now because the Ravage is up. So they're probably just going to play around the Ravage. When Navi US doesn't have Ravage, they're significantly weaker because the Troll is much easier to account for. But when he has that, that glory period of 3 seconds where everyone is stunned, or at least a majority of the heroes are stunned on EG, that's when he can kind of focus and hone in on one hero to stun him completely. But when he doesn't have that luxury, it's very easy to kite out and make the Troll feel useless. So they just can't fight around Ravage. Here comes a relocate onto a Courier. It's a solo relocate, though. Fog isn't even going to find it. He should be okay, though, but nice try.
That's really clever ward placement, too. Just for that, I'm sure. I mean, it's good vision, but I'm sure it's largely for that specific reason, too. Just to try to catch the Courier when it's over the secret shop. That's a Hyperstone up for Fear. And yeah, is he going to go Soul Cure Ash just to tank up more, you think?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
He also has, they already have a pipe, but he also has a full Hood of Defiance. So that plus Corrosive Skin plus the pipe, which does stack better now, is pretty high magic resistance against the Zeus.
MKB done on the Troll, so Korok in good shape there. Kind of taking the butterfly out of the equation. And I want to see how EG plays this out. As of now, Na'Vi still has a fair amount of space on the map. And it's going to be an AC build for Ush as well. And he's actually very close to it. Look how quick he's right-clicking right now. But EG is giving them a little more space than I think they'd like to. Pipe's going to be up now. Black Hole back up in 50 seconds. And now Na'Vi US moving out aggressively. They've got Korok and Fogged up the gut. And Zai caught in mid. He has BKB. He's going to turn around. And there's going to be the Death Ward onto Korok. PPD trying to follow it up. In the meantime, Korok's going to re-engage on the Universe. Universe will mech through it. And behind that, in comes Fear. MSS next on the list. They already lost Fog, and they're going to lose 3-0. Great re-engagement by EG. And they're not done. They're going to try to pursue out Ush. Universe unable to find him. So they'll be able to TP out, but this will be the death of the Tier 2. And what's buyback status for Troll? Doesn't have it. If they decide to press up to Tier 3 and notice the Troll doesn't buy back, they may just be able to take a Tier 3.
They probably won't, though, because, again, Ravage is still off cooldown. And that's really their one way back into these team fights. Maybe... Okay, well, they're down for, like, a good 35 seconds. Probably feel it out. If they buy back, then you back up, but... Alright, no, they are going to go. Maybe they... Oh, no, you know what it is? They saw him buy the MKB, so they're like, we know he doesn't have buyback.
Swap. And there's a stun on the Merlini. Can they follow it? They're going to have to Ravage. Now, if EG's smart, they'll back out here. They're going to get Arteezy at least. MSS going to come back in. Fear's there doing what damage he can. And MSS, very slow, but still. A lot of right-click, and Universe going to re-engage. They managed to get Arteezy. But EG still just running them over. They really want to get a racks. They're going to focus on the melee racks. And with the Eidolons there, need to get a little lower. And they will get it now. The Eidolons for sure will finish it. Ush, though, wants the kill. Zai's going to force staff.
That was actually Peters, I think. Yeah.
And there's the BKB. And he's going to TP in their face. Maddening as that cask bounced between their noggins. And they can do nothing but watch on as he leaves. So they do end up getting a tier 2, a tier 3, and they get the melee racks in mid. Not bad.
Not bad at all. And they had the Ravage used by Ush, which was a pretty damn good Ravage, but I wonder if they just heal and just go top or go bottom. I don't think they can fight or win a fight remotely without this Ravage up. And Viper is just, this build is proven to be a big problem for Navi US. Like, he attacks so quickly, and he's unkillable. He's just so tanky.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And yeah, well, in terms of how tanky he is, what do you think of the decision to go Hood of Defiance instead of just BKB?
Because of the Zeus. The Zeus is doing the majority of the damage.
I'm saying, what do you think of it? Do you think it's the right call?
Oh, the BKB, right, of course.
Yep.
Well, there's a school of thought where it's like, okay, if I have the BKB, that means he's going to not attack me at all and he's going to hit my team, but I want him to attack me. So if that's the case, if you want to absorb the damage from your team... Oh, actually, hold that thought. They're going on here right now.
At top. He's going to Manta, turn around. Fog's dead for sure. Oh, no, he actually stopped auto-attacking. Now he's going to try to kite out Korok. Use the Viper Strike on Korok, and yeah, he can't catch him. Bash?
Yep.
Got it. Korok. Little RNG love on his side that time. And Fear made a good effort. Made it a 1-for-1, but that's a big kill for Korok.
I think Fear could have actually just ran. He actually used the flutter effect from the butterfly, and it made him run really fast. He was at like 420 movement speed. And Korok is not nearly up that high because he didn't go for any movement speed items like drums or anything like that. So he probably could have just ran away, but nice bash RNG. Ush is in trouble. Blinks away. No auto attack from Arteezy.
Radiant's middle barracks are under
And there's going to be the Yules. And they get the... Yeah, they're going to go ahead and finish him off now. And they've got him surrounded. Ravage, that's a questionable Ravage, because now if they kill him and get somebody else in the midst of it all, Universe has Black Hole. And he's going to go ahead and... Oh, he actually stutter-stepped it. Zai, though, did get the Death Ward down. And Korok can't find a way in. He got hit with Maleficent. He's going to end up dying amidst the Midnight Pulse. Now, MSS is down as well. And worse yet, that's going to be a Ravage down. They should get Merlini, and they will. And no, good relocate. Fogged has been on point with his relocates, man. No doubt.
When you... When your own Vengeful Spirit swaps out your own Black Hole and you still win the fight, you know you're really far ahead.
Magic Missile on the Fog, tried to tether quickly. Is that what happened? I thought he stutter-stepped it.
No, he swapped him out. I think he was trying to save him, and then Universe wanted to go for the Black Hole, but... Oh, that was some 3-2-2 moments. It doesn't matter, though, because the Ravage is down. They're pursuing Ush. Arteezy can Yules him for extra static link if he wants to, but he doesn't need to. Yeah, he has the Yules, by the way.
And Merlini actually comes in and gets himself a kill, bringing down PPD. So a little clowny times for now. Ush will end up dropping. Zai pops his own BKB. Actually caught Merlini with the cask. Arteezy trying to rush him down. We'll be able to get on him. There's a Ghost Scepter being used. Yules into the air. And Force Staff as soon as he lands, so he should be able to make it back to safety, at least for now. And Universe actually going to back off, too. Looks like they have no interest in trying to fight now. I don't know. I thought Arteezy might try to catch someone TPing in mid, but not the case. In fact, it's the other way around. MSS Merlini on Arteezy's tail. There's going to be a relocate. There's going to be Fog plus Korok, and Arteezy's going to BKB. No TP, so he has to just keep hustling. Now he's going to use the Yules. And super dead. Fear actually caught out by himself down here.
God, this new Flutter is so good. When I read the change, I was like, oh, that's kind of a cool, fun little change, but it's actually really useful.
And there's the Maleficent Korok being hit and brought down by Fear. Fear below half health, but now MSS is overcommitted. Merlini can't stay in this fight. Like you said, he can't overcommit. And here comes Zai. We can get a cask off. Universe is there. Maleficent is up. Got him. Got Merlini. Let's see if Zai can follow this up. He's got a Death Ward if they want to use it. And doesn't look like they want to yet. Here goes a Ravage. 4-man Ravage. Beautiful play by Ush. And EG playing super greedy gets super punished. But Merlini. Yeah. PPD with a swap. Merlini once again ghost sceptering. And Ush, with a great Ravage, gets this thing turned around. Fear actually buys back. And I don't know why. Because he has to hoof it. There's no tier 1 still standing. PPD doing what damage he can. Gets the Kraken out of Ush. PPD following up. Auto attacks. No, not enough. Overcharge, pretty strong ability. So Fog gets him back home safely. Fear, though, just going to walk right on up. Start going to work. Merlini eats the Viper Strike. And the Ghost Scepter interrupts it a bit. Universe still has 10 seconds until he has his Black Hole back up. Now they're going to go to work on the racks. Already took out mid, and they take out half a bottom. Now they're going to latch on to Ush. BKB's up. And that's a lot of damage being stolen. There was a relocate, actually. He's going to come right back out. Second rack's down, and EG can just fall back, reset, wait for ultis, and then go top.
I love this Yules on Fraser. It's pretty fun to watch. It's also cool because you can like use the static link, use them up in the air, get more duration onto it. But yeah, this is definitely EG's game, no doubt about it. And Troll, despite him being right there, he's actually second position on the net worth, has a ton of farm, but that's just the problem with this hero, man. Like, once you get someone isolated, he looks like an amazing hero, right? Like, he stuns them, they can't do anything. It's like, wow, OP Troll, Batch Lord. But if he doesn't get that, he looks like the worst hero in the game. And with a hero like Viper in the mix and Black Hole to just keep him subdued and stuck in the middle of a team fight, he just doesn't look that impressive, despite his high amounts of farm.
EG take a very fast Roshan and ready to go and deal with the third racks. They're actually going to respond to top first. They may run into Ush. And they will. There's the Yules, Magic Missile on the ready. Got him. And he actually Krakens through it. So Arteezy has to run him down from behind. Not like that's a hard task with his movement speed, 504. And now Ush going to try the TP. Cask is there. Swap was there just in case. And this is going to put a halt to the push that Merlini's trying to do at top. They're going to have a creep wave. They honestly don't need one. It's tier 3. And both other tier 3s are down. Yeah, they're just going to go high ground and try to make something happen here. Oh, there's going to be a Cask. 2 good bounces. Ulti used by MSS. He and Fog staying together. Tier 4 ends up dropping. MSS dead in a minute. And now Merlini caught from behind. Universe hits a Black Hole. It's the second time Universe kind of been screwed on his Black Holes. The swap was real first. Then the Yules, but it doesn't matter. Didn't even need that good of a Black Hole to win this one. EG hangs an ugly one on Na'Vi US. Game 1, more lopsided than this. This one ends at about 15 to 17K lead for EG. And what can you say, man? Zai earning 15.3 fantasy points on this Witch Doctor. A collective 25 and 10 just between Zai and Fear. PPD 4-2, he's positive. Universe had a bit of a rough one, but like you said, like whenever you know you're in good shape whenever your Venge swaps you in the middle of the Black Hole and you still win the fight.
Yeah, there was just more innate problems than that, but yeah, Na'Vi US with their stand-in Merlini and MSS, I thought they performed okay. MSS has a great early game, not so much as this hero just kind of naturally falls off. I think, and Merlini being the only one that's positive on the team. I think he was positive, the only one that was positive last time as well on the Tinker, which I think is kind of funny. But, yeah, I mean, just EG just looked obviously way better, and I think that most people would have assumed that coming into this. Na'Vi still looking to find their groove and find their correct 5 for the roster. Have dropped out of a number of tournaments as a result of some unfortunate losses for them in certain tournaments. Want to find a new roster, and are under, you know, looking right now. So we'll see. We'll see what we can see from them in the future.
Well, that improves EG's overall D2L record to 3-0, and they're going to be back in action tomorrow. Tomorrow's actually going to be the last best of 3 we do for about 5 days or so. We get a little bit of a break, but then we bounce back with some of our most highly anticipated matches of the year coming up after that, including EG versus Team Tinker. And, you know, Team Tinker's been struggling as well. You know, we'll talk about that next week. But for now, what you need to know, Na'Vi US, hurting bad. They're 1-4 with only 2 series left. 3's the magic number if you want to be in contention for for the bubble race. At least it almost always has been. If you can get 3 wins, you're at least going to be involved in tiebreakers. If you get 4, you're pretty much guaranteed to be a high seed even in the bubble race. So don't forget, the number 1 overall finishing team in the group stage doesn't even have to go through the playoffs. They just go straight to Vegas. And speaking of Vegas, we've already got 2 of our Eastern teams set there. Not going to repeat it here just in case there are some of you who might want to catch the VODs during our downtime. But trust me, you need to go watch the Eastern bubble race. It was a lot of fun and fantastic play. I'm your host, Aaron AC Chambers. Guys, it has been a pleasure. I'm tired. Trout's tired. This schedule has been a grind, but it damn if it ain't been good, man. And EG looking very solid as they notch their 3rd win of the season. Navi US, again, taking a bit of a tough loss. Looking ahead to tomorrow, it's going to be EG back in action looking for that magic 4th win that'll guarantee them a high seed at the very least in the playoffs. And they'll be taking on SNA. Looking forward to that. And let me double check the time. That will be tomorrow at 2100. So we'll see you at noon Pacific Standard Time.
Yes.
3, yeah, I know. I smiled too. Noon Pacific Standard Time, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 2100 for our European brothers and sisters. Any last thoughts on the way out the door here, Trout?
Fun draft, I think, from both sides. I'll tell you that much. But big plays on the Witch Doctor from Zai. That was fun to watch.
All righty, guys. It's been fun. Hope you enjoyed your time here. And if you did, make sure you hit follow here on twitch.tv/D2L. And make sure you follow the D2L on Facebook and Twitter as well. It's D2LGG on both of those. I'm AC, the guy on the other line, the very, very smart one who's really good at Dota. His name's Trout. You can find us both on Twitter. It's at AC, at AYESEE, and he's at TralfDota, TRALFDOTA. Signing off for now. We'll see you again tomorrow, a Sunday edition of the D2L that'll pit evil geniuses versus sneaky Nyx assassins. No matter where, no matter what corner of the globe you happen to call home, enjoy your morning, evening, or afternoon, and enjoy some Dota.